Announcements, February 22nd, that's this Saturday, the Father-Daughter Dance, 7 to 9 at the Fairfield Senior High School Arena. March 6th, board meeting, 6:30 at the Fairfield High School, Catherine D. Milligan Community Room. All the announcements for tonight, board member comments, Mr. Napier.
Yeah, I want to thank Mr. Burkmeyer and the Hope Squad for inviting us here tonight. Thank Mandy for the financial report. Thank Kurt for the presentation. I've been saying for a long time, we need to be teaching these kids how to do a checkbook, how to figure out finances, and I'm glad we do that now. Welcome Candace to my old elementary, and Kareem, welcome him back to Fairfield. Thank Amy and Jason for their assistant treasury update, and Lance for the building. That's it.
Great, thank you. Mrs. Birdie Miller.
Okay, so sorry I missed last week, where we normally joke about putting Billy on a timer. So I'm going to be a little long-winded, so hopefully you guys will put a timer on me. And I'm going to try to take all of Scott's points before he can get to them. I am, I'm copying. You know, there's no cheating at school board. I can't get in trouble. So first, I'd like to apologize for missing the freshman oral presentation. I have a 11-week-old at home, and he just was having a whole tantrum, and so I had to settle him before I could leave the house. And I'm really bummed because Hope Squad is there, and I always love watching their presentations. So thank you for being here. I'm going to go back and watch the video as soon as it gets posted. So I want to thank Melanie, Bernice, Delia, and Sina. I apologize for butchering names. I'm terrible. Also have mom brain. But thank you so much for presenting. Like I said earlier, it's always hard being a student and coming and talking in front of adults, and especially when you're being recorded and you know it's going to be posted on the internet. So thank you so much. We appreciate all you do for being on Hope Squad and being there for your peers. It's not an easy task, as Mr. Clark always points out, because you are putting yourself out there and really putting others before yourself. So, you know, thank you, and we want to make sure that you guys are also taking care of yourselves. Mandy, thank you so much for bringing on and helping us bring this academic necessity to our students. You know, Lipke, you know, we appreciate everything you do for teaching our kids and preparing them for adulthood and being productive members of the community by having this knowledge of education, of financing that we never really thought of before. You know, we always did joke, what are we going to use this for? And now we're actually giving this implementations of what they're going to learn. I think the most impactful class for me as a student was typing. I mean, like, that's something that I've taken to my everyday life every day. And so, like, I really wish there was this literary financing back when I was in school. I want to thank the administration team, you know, Mr. Perry and Mr. Hustle and Miss Ogg, and unfortunately Miss Howard, who is sick today, for everything you guys do, you know, working with finding the, creating this job description for a role that we've never had, working and going out and getting all these bids for all of these huge dollar amounts that none of us could ever conceive before. You know, I appreciate all your work you guys do every day, and you guys bring that to our district. I also want to say, there's no question for our love of Miss Lane, but Miss Lee, don't sell yourself short. You bring such a wealth of knowledge by having such a diverse history of treasury from other districts to our district, and we really appreciate that. So I don't want you to sell yourself short. And you're not only number 2, you're like 1.5, okay?
June, I'll be 1.2.
Yeah. Also, hopefully, our freshman boys basketball is doing great. They are currently, right now, as of 10 minutes ago, playing just across the hall from us. So good luck to them. Hope they do well in the GMC tournament. Enjoy the father-daughter dance. It's always hold a special place in my heart. I work there with my father every year. Unfortunately, I'm missing it this year, so don't miss it. Have fun for me. It's a great event that has such great benefits to our students and our facilities because it goes and donates back towards our buildings and stuff like that. Welcome back, Mr. Sanders. We're happy to have you back. So excited. We're welcoming you back into the cold weather and the snow. Know you missed that for sure. And welcome Miss Sanchez to the Fairfield City Schools. Happy to have you at North Elementary School. And lastly, I'd like to end it with a quote from our book, actually. that resonated with me, but I didn't bring up in school, the discussion because I wanted to end it, my thoughts on the meeting with this. We will struggle, we will fail, we will be knocked down, but throughout, we will get better and we will succeed in the end. Your turn. Mic drop.
That was mic drop right there.
Good luck, Scott.
Good night, everybody. Ditto, first of all. Mr. Burtmeyer, thanks for hosting us, and for congratulations on 3.5, and moving on up with your stars each year. That goes right along with the book and what Mr. Smith always says. The gradual is better than a big leap. That big leap, sometimes, most of the time, is not sustainable. Those gradual betters, those gradual wins are worth celebrating and keeps the motivation going. So congratulations. Also want to thank Mr. Burtmeyer and Mr. Smith for participating in the You Make a Difference assembly for the Fairfield Prevention Coalition. It's I think it was the fourth one that we've done, fourth or fifth, and it gets better every year. There's about 20 students from the coalition that come up and present ribbons to a teacher, a admin, a custodian, a bus driver, of some sort of supportive mentor that made a difference in their life. And it's pretty cool to see. And we split the session up in the morning to do that, and the stories that are shared, and then even afterwards, the impact that the other students have. Mr. Markowitz, our director of the coalition, challenges all the kids to do that. If you're not up on stage, to do that yourself to a supportive person in your life, coach or whoever it is. And it's amazing the stories that are out there. And I wanted to give a shout out to Miss Gina because she's amazing. And the communication that she was able to get for us with this, with Channel 9 News, Fox, Channel 9 did a wonderful, wonderful segment. It was on their Sunday, was it Sunday morning? I think they showed it. Had a segment and then a video on their website. And they interviewed 4 students here, and it was a write-up in the paper. So it gets better and better every year, but that goes along with Hope Squad and all the great things we do here at Fairfield City School District. Just shows how much we support the kids and how much we engage with the kids. Even the SROs, even some of them get ribbons too. So thank you, Mr. Burtmeyer. Hope Squad ladies, thank you. Get some more guys in there. 2's good, but let's double that. Let's get 4, right? And like Mr. Mike
Napier.
Clark. He said next year when you go into the senior school, just carry that with you. You use that as a support that you got this, because you do. And then Mrs. Ogg, you're just awesome. We're so fortunate to have you, and all the curriculum that you sort through, you go through and bring to us to give to the kids is awesome. And this literacy program is another one of those. It's top notch, and we really appreciate the way you work with everybody, and then work with Butler Tech to get the qualified teacher to come in and do that. So thank you very much. Welcome, Ms. Sanchez, and Mr. Sanders. Welcome back, sir. We missed you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm done.
Hope Squad, right? It started in high school all those years ago and expanded to the freshman school and now to the middle school.
Yeah,
And that peer-to-peer is so important.
very important.
Very important. So a big thank you to all those students who participate in that, and the good that the entire school system benefits from.
For sure.
Mr. Lemke, thank you so much for coming and speaking tonight. That was wonderful. It really is great what we're doing, what all schools are doing now to advocate for financial literacy, right? And this is a knock against no one in particular, but, is that a dinner time conversation? Probably not, right? So are we teaching our children? Do we have the tools to teach our children about financial literacy? And if the answer is no, then this is their one chance to understand these things and to maybe break bad habits or a cycle of poverty. So it's very meaningful and very applicable. You mentioned Mr. Sanders and Mrs. Sanchez, who I guess just did an amazing job in an interview, and as Mr. Hustle said, wanted to be in the Fairfield School District. Kareem Sanders did an amazing job here, went down to Georgia and became a high school principal. He could have come back to this area and applied to be someone's high school principal, but instead he wanted to be back in this district. And I think that speaks volumes about this district. This may be inappropriate to do, Mrs. Ogg, but you had opportunities. You're well-respected for what you do and have had opportunities to take other jobs and have decided to stay here for all these reasons and more. And so we thank you for that. And we thank Mr. Smith and this team for your leadership, for being culture setters. And all it can do is benefit our students, right?
I know I said I wasn't an elephant, but I can't not respond to that.
Sure.
You know, there were so many reasons I wanted to stay, and I need, you know, the five of you to know that you are a big part of that decision, because you just are a great board, and this is a great place to work. And that just speaks a lot to your leadership and, of course, to Mr. Smith's leadership. You know, we want to be here. We want to get up every day and drive 35 to 40 minutes to be here. I passed up a 7-minute drive. But, no,
Well, thank you.
Very,
Thank
very
you.
happy.
Yes.
Thank you.
I knew you had
Thank
those
you.
feelings. I knew they were in there.
I couldn't. I'm like, what is happening over here? Is that a
It's
feeling
okay.
that I'm having?
It's okay, man.
Now I'm going to have to talk about it. See what happens.
A hallmark moment.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Napier, Mrs. Birding Miller, Mrs. Lee, please call the roll.
Mr. Bagley,
Yes.
Mrs. Bernie Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mr. Napier.
Yes.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Gonna emphasize
What time?
that.
I have no idea.
7:47.
7:47. Hit the gavel.